morning, Leanne.
Good morning.
We're going to start here in 3 minutes. All right, it is 9 a.m. I will call this special meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety to order. We'll go ahead and conduct roll call. Clerk Treasurer Aldrich.
Anita Werley,
Present.
Dick Bradshaw,
Present.
and Mayor Evans.
President. We are here subject to the Council Resolution 2020-8 passed on April 15th, which established the Delphi Small Business Resilience Grant, and the resolution of May 7th, Resolution 2020-10, which awarded funds to all applicants which had submitted applications by 4:30 p.m. on Friday, April 24th, meet all of the eligibility requirements of the application, and have provided the required documents. At this time, I've determined that 36 of the 37 applicants meet those requirements and have turned in the documentation, with Woolman's being the one exception due to the number of employees. Today, what we're looking for is to authorize payment to these businesses upon execution of the grant agreement between the businesses and the city of Delphi. And I know, Anita, you do have some ties to the Opera House and Preservation Society, none that would make a legal conflict of interest, but could be perceived as a conflict of interest. And Dick, with your daughter being a part owner of the Pizza King, what I would recommend is that all three of us vote to approve the 33 grant applicants that meet the criteria, and then Dick and I would to approve the Delphi Opera House and the Delphi Preservation Society, and then Anita and I would vote to approve the Pizza King application. Do you guys have any problems with that?
No.
All right. Board members, do you have any questions before we get into voting to authorize payment?
I have a question. Are these amounts, the request, that's what they requested, there were no changes in those amounts?
Correct.
Were all of them capable of requesting the full amount?
Correct. Some chose to request less than the full $5,000.
So the only one that was not accepted of the 37 was Bowman's?
Correct, because they had more than 25 employees.
Did you review the criteria? Basically,
So the eligibility, they must be in good standing with regard to state and local taxes, licenses, and code compliance, must be in good standing with the Indiana Secretary of State, must have been established and operational in the city of Delphi for at least, since January 1st. Yes, right, this is an old version, give me just a second, Dick. Must have been in operation in the city since at least January 1st, 2020. Must have 25 or fewer full and part-time employees, must not be a governmental unit. If a nonprofit, must be a 501c3 organization, and then owners of multiple businesses within the city of Delphi are eligible for each business that meets this criteria.
Are there any multiple businesses?
There
The
are,
owner had business?
yes, sir, there's two sets of owners that own multiple businesses.
How will you pay these? How will this be paid?
We will issue checks to these businesses. I will likely hand deliver them as I need to get grant agreement between these businesses and the city executed. That grant agreement is primarily just so we have recourse if they were to spend the money on something that isn't approved. You know, if they were to go out and buy a car, say for the business, to give us some sort of recourse in that, if that were to happen.
Is there any way to check on that really? How to spend the money?
Yes, there will be 2 reports required from the businesses that just show what they've spent the money on. Those reports will be due in the middle of June and the middle of July, so the city has that.
Is the theory that they're supposed to use this to pay employees who are unemployed? Or
The theory is to use this towards, they can use it towards payroll, they can use it towards utilities, rent, mortgage payments, insurance, or similar expenses, pretty much anything to keep them open and operational.
and what was the maximum amount that you had from the grant?
So it gets a little hairy there. Okra awarded us $198,600. Some of these businesses will be eligible, we believe, for Okra funds. Some we know just on their face are not. Nonprofit organizations are not, and businesses without W-2 employees, we do not believe are eligible for Okra reimbursement. It's my belief that there are 17 businesses out of the 36 that the city could give payment from Okra for.
We don't have the 198,000.
No, they disperse that to us after they approve our request.
We're gonna request $161,019.06.
We are not. We're going to request, I believe, $81,000. That's the sum of the 17 businesses that I believe fit Okra's criteria.
Will the balance come from edit?
It's going to start coming out of rainy day. If we are not reimbursed by Okra, then we could take it out of edit.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Worling, do you have any questions?
So the grants that are being approved and funded today will be paid out of rainy day?
We're going to approve all of them today. Rainy day will go to pay the ones that will not be eligible for Okra reimbursement. And then the ones that are eligible for Okra reimbursement, we'll take those out of the newly created funds for that grant from Okra.
So will everyone receive money now, or will the ones that are from Okra be waiting, pending the money being received from Okra?
So Okra's turnaround time should be 1 to 2 days after we get the income verification forms into them. I've received 7 businesses income verification forms back. I still need 10 businesses back that could meet Okra's criteria. It's my estimation that it would be by the end of the day Friday, or maybe end of the day Monday, before we could get payment to those businesses that we may be able to get reimbursed from Okra. But the nonprofit organizations, as well as the businesses without W-2 employees, we plan on issuing payment today or tomorrow, as quickly as I can get to them and get the grant application signed by the business. Or not the grant application, the grant agreement.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. All right, do you have anything further?
No, thank
I
you.
have no more questions.
You do have some questions, Dick?
No,
Okay, so I would make the motion to authorize payment upon execution of the grant agreement to the 33 out of the 36 businesses that meet the criteria. That is excluding the Opera House, Delphi Preservation Society, and Pizza King, and we can vote on those here after we get done voting on this one.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, Mr. Bradshaw?
No,
Ms. Worley?
No,
All right, I will call the question as to authorizing payment upon execution of the grant agreement to 33 out of the 36 businesses. Out of those 36, excluding Opera House, Preservation Society, and Pizza King. I'll call the question via roll call. Mr. Bradshaw?
aye.
Mr. Worling?
aye.
And I am an aye. I will make the motion to authorize payment upon execution of the grant agreement to Delphi Preservation Society and the Opera House.
Second,
All right, we have a motion and a second for the Preservation Society and the Opera House. Any further discussion? All right, I will call the question. Mr. Bradshaw,
aye.
Ms. Worling,
Abstain.
and I am an aye. The motion passes. And I will move to authorize payment upon execution of grant agreement to TNT Pizza King.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
No.
I'll call the question. Ms. Worling,
Aye.
I am an aye. Mr. Bradshaw?
Abstain.
All right, thank you, sir. So that is all I have for today's meeting. I'll open it up to board comments. Mr. Bradshaw, do you have anything?
How's our flowers doing?
The frost has been a little rough on them. So I've been watering them, but the frost looks like it's taken a toll on them early.
Well, if you, get some more plants, I'll help you.
All
I
right.
know Nita helped those times, she begged up the last time.
I didn't know you were doing it, or otherwise I would have been there. So
Ms. Worling, do you have anything?
I just would like to thank you and the council for your leadership on this matter. I think it speaks so well for a small community like ours that comes together to support its small businesses, and so on behalf of the public, I appreciate your leadership and the council's leadership.
Thank you, Ms. Worling. Clerk Treasurer Aldrich, do you have anything?
Yeah,
All right, I'll open it up for public comment. President Pro Tem Conick?
Can you identify the 17 businesses eligible for reimbursement?
Yeah, can I send you a list after the meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
I also have a question. You mentioned that you intended to use rainy day funds for businesses that are not eligible for Okra reimbursement. You're gonna use the newly created funds for businesses that are, where's that money coming from into that newly created fund?
So we had a conference call with Kersey and Umball or Baker Tilly last week. Their recommendation, well, I guess, Leanne, where did we leave it? Are we gonna run that negative? Or are we going to transfer in from rainy day and edit?
it was my understanding from that meeting that we were taking the money, we were setting up a separate appropriation line in rainy day, identifying it, and that would be paid for the non-eligible.
What about for the eligible?
For the eligible, we set up a separate fund. If the numbers have to be 150 and 150 is available, that's the number we will use. And the money that goes into that, we can run it red.
Yeah, that's what you have to pay, so where is the money coming from? Are you using general fund money to make the payments?
We will use general fund money to make the payments. It will run red until the money
Right.
is reimbursed by OPEB.
Right.
That's
So,
what we're waiting on is the stuff to be turned into OPEB to make sure this would be possible.
okay, I just wanted clarification that it was coming from general fund.
Yes,
Although, okay,
So the
President.
money that we appropriated at the last meeting is not gonna be used.
if
not necessarily. It could end up being used if we don't get reimbursement from Okra.
And when do you anticipate paying Curbsy for their participation in this?
When they send us an invoice, I haven't talked to them about it.
in the past, any grant we've handled, we've never paid Kirsty until the grant is completed and they invoice us.
Okay, and what line item and edit is that coming from?
I don't have those in front of me, Dale.
I believe it's consultant services or something along those lines.
Okay, thank you.
Zelda. All right. Debbie Lowe, do you have anything?
No, I can't say. No.
In chat, if you have something. All right, I'm not seeing anything on the chat. So at this point, there's one last motion we made.
Actually, I had one more question. I wanna know when the grant agreement form will be available.
It's available right now.
Are we gonna get a copy of that?
I can send it to you afternoon.
Thank you. I'm done.
All right, there's a last motion we made.
I move we adjourn.
Second that.
I'll call the question. Mr. Bradshaw,
Aye.
Ms. Worley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. It is 9:14 a.m. Thank you all for being on here. I'll see you guys here next Monday. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.